Okay, how do we complete the journal assignment? Well, you first need to download the template that I've given you on Google Classroom and open it in photopea. Once you open it in photopea, you will understand and you will see that there are instructions. Okay, so make sure you read the instructions, and you're probably going to have to read them every time I give you this assignment. Know that you have to write 5 sentences regarding something that you learned in this class. Every entry for every week, you'll have to choose a different legible, meaning that I can read it easily. 8 to 14 point, so the size of the font needs to be between 8 and 14 points, and different color font every week. All right, so how do we do that? So the first thing you should do is go into your Google Drive and underneath your computer graphics folder, create a new folder called Journal. And then you should keep all of your journal entries and files in that folder. The first thing I would do is to create your own template, which has your name on the top. And then you can use that every week so that you don't have to write your name every single time. So I'm going to grab my text tool. When I do that, you'll see that we have, again, up in the submenu or the tools options bar, we have a bunch of different fonts. You need to choose something that is legible. So I'm going to choose Aileron, whatever that is, and it should load. Or it looks like it might be loaded already unless my computer is running very slowly. I'm going to choose Aileron Bold. Again, these options change depending on the font that you have. And right now I have a size of 20 and the color green. I also have left alignment, which I like to use when I write with text. Sometimes I use center alignment. Rarely will I use right alignment. So when I'm ready to type, I just click up here above this line, and now it loaded my font, and I'm going to write Justin Parley, although for some reason that didn't work, and I don't know why. Okay, for some reason that it wouldn't type, so this is a good lesson. I was typing and nothing was showing up. I tried changing colors and nothing would work, and I believe it's a bug, so I think I just found a bug. What I did was I totally shut photopea down, so I closed the tab and I relaunched it, and now it should work. So let's get back to business. I have my text tool, my font type, my size of 24, color, and align left. So if I click here and type my name and hit the checkbox, it should be good to go. Now this is the file you want to save out as your template, and you can name it properly too. So to do that, I'm going to go File, Save as PSD, use the correct naming convention, and then you really won't ever have to worry about it again. So PER underscore 08, your period, last name, J, journal, I'm going to call this 01, and then at the end, so I can differentiate it between all my other files, I'm going to write template, so I know this is my template, and I click Save. And now that's the file you should open up every week to begin working on it. So now that I have that file up, my name is there, it's fine, doesn't have to be perfectly aligned. I'm going to go down to the date and the font. So again, I'm going to get my text tool. I'm going to click here, write the date, which is 9/18. I'm going to give it some space so it'll jump over that word font, and I'm going to write my font, Aileron. And if you want to put bold or whatever it might be, you can. I'm going to hit check mark. And then we have a problem. And that problem is that my text does not fit in this space. So the size is too big. Remember I said 8 to 14 point font. So if I have my text tool and I'm on that layer, I should be able to change my size and it will update it. So if I go 14 and hit enter, it's good, except my A now goes over the T. So I'm going to click in here to reactivate my text line, and I'm just going to give it some more space so I can read it and hit check. So now I'm going to move down and start writing my 5 sentences, and I'm going to click over here to just to the right of my margin because I want you to stay inside of these lines. Click and just start typing. I am a really bad teacher most days, blah, 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 blah. And then when you get close to that line, you got to pay attention. So you hit return to go to another line. Then you start typing in. And you can see that I have another problem. And I did this intentionally. I've got overlapping text. Okay, and once you finish your 5 complete sentences with good punctuation, capitalization, spelling, everything, I'm going to hit the check mark. And to fix that, we go over to our character window. And in my character window, I have a bunch of things that I need to start learning. Now again, I've got the size here, which should match this size here. I've got the colors, which match. I have my font and my font style here. But the problem we have, and the reason why my text is overlapping, is because my leading, so this is a typography term, my leading is too small. As a rule of thumb, and you should learn this, as a rule of thumb, if I have my leading set to the same size as my font size, everything should be good. So I'm going to change that to 14, and you can see those lines now have a decent enough amount of space to be legible, at least so they aren't overlapping. You can go bigger if you want. It doesn't really matter. Don't go crazy with it. Make it look presentable and professional. Okay. You should also learn a little bit about tracking and some of these other things in here, but really all I care about right now is the size and the leading. So I can close that window by clicking on the CHA button. And then the last thing you need to do before you save this out, and after you've read it back to yourself and did a spell check yourself and paid attention to your punctuation and your grammar and your spelling, you need to flatten this, right? So I want you to submit these as JPEG files. So we have to flatten our layers always before we submit a JPEG file. So if I right click on any of the layers and I go to flatten image, you'll see it goes into one layer. And now all I need to do is go to File, Export as JPEG. High quality, always bump that quality up to 100%. Hit save, and then it'll put me in the right place. I already have one in there, so I'm just going to overwrite this and click save. Make sure your last number pertains to which journal entry this is. Okay, so I hit save. Do you want to replace it? Yes. And then I can find and upload that to Google Classroom and submit it. And that's it. Get used to this. I want you to learn how to use the text tool, the character window, even the paragraph window, which again shows alignment, okay, and everything that goes along with using the text tool.